Hey everybody, this is Georgia and I'm back again today with the TODO. Carolyn Donnelly had asked about using stamps with the TODO. I really wanted to go to hot foil next, but I thought why not do stamps since somebody had mentioned it. So what I'm going to try today, I have a letterpress plate. I have a clear stamp, the kind of rubbery kind. I have some small rubber stamps and I have a woodblock stamp. And we're just going to give all a try and see what happens. The first one I'm going to try is the letterpress plate. And what they say to do is put your plate down first and then your card. And you can put your plate anywhere it says. I'm not putting ink on yet because they also say to try rolling it over first before you try the ink and see how it is. Then you put your C plate on and your A plate. Now for letter pressing, it said start at 6 to 8, so I set mine on 7, and we're just going to roll it over and see how it rolls over first. Seems to be a little tight, so we're going to go up to 7.5. Try that one. That one still seems a little tight. Little snug, so we're going to go up to 8. And this is the letterpress plate, which is a hard plastic plate. Actually, I'm going up to 8.5 this time. Let's see how that feels. That one feels pretty, it seems a little tight, but not too bad. I might go ahead and go up to 9. I'm going to just roll it back over and see how that feels. 9 feels pretty good. So I'm going to pull it off and ink up the plate and then do it again and see what happens. Now I actually did get a pretty good embossing with that, which is kind of neat. But we're going to do the ink. I'm going to get another card since that one's kind of heavily embossed already. And I'm using a pigment ink because that's what they suggested using when you do stamps. And we're going to ink that up. It's not going to be perfect because I'm just trying to get this done and see how it works. That's pretty good. I'm just going to lightly ink it. And we're going to put the cardstock down next. And then our C plate and our A plate, which I have them stacked together, so we're just going to keep them that way. Put that down. Now this is set at 9, which is rolling pretty good. It's smooth. I don't want to double roll it because I think that would smear the ink if you double did it. So let's see how that came out. Actually, I think that's pretty good. I got some over because I put some ink down on the bottom of it. But that did pretty good, and that's at 9. That's for a hard letterpress plate. So we'll set that one aside. The next one we're going to do is we're going to try one of these little rubber stamps. We're going to do the dog bone. What I like about these are sticky on the back, so I don't think it will shift. But what I am going to do, I'm going to put a piece of paper under this, just to keep from getting ink on my plate. We're going to go ahead and just try that one at 9 also. I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. And put down a piece of cardstock. Then put my C plate and then A plate on it. Whoop, flip it over. And let's roll that back over and see how it does. Again, this is at 9. A little bit tighter than the other plate, but let's see how it comes out. Actually, pretty nice. So that one's at 9 also. So I'd probably do my letterpress plates and my little rubber stamps at a 9. Next we're going to try the clear stamp. And this one's a little bit thicker, so I think I'm actually going to raise this up to 9.5 for this one and see what that does. I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. I'm used to having these more on a solid surface when I ink, and we're just going to set it down here. Okay, that's inked up okay, so we're going to lay that one down. I'm going to bring a piece of cardstock onto it. Then again, our C and A plates, and set those down. And I move this one up to 9.5 because this stamp's just a little bit thicker than the other ones. Actually, the rolling is pretty good, pretty smooth. Okay, that was at 9.5. Let's see how it did. Actually, it smeared a little bit, so I think I have it a little bit too tight again. We're going to take it up to 10. And let's ink it up again. I think when it gets smushed like that, I didn't get the ink on very well this time. Okay, we're going to flip it. We're just going to put it the other side so we can keep track of where we're at. Put the plates back on. Again, this time we're at 10. Still feels like it's smushing it too much. Smushing, how do you like that word? We're smushing it, and my plates are going right along with it. Yeah, that one's really, really bad. So we're going to take this one up to, we're going to go up to 11 and try it. Let's get rid of that piece. Grab a new piece. Ink up our stamp. I'm going to set this down to ink it again. And we're up to 11 now. Let's see how 11 does. Put our cardstock down, our C plate and our A plate. It's a little smoother rolling, but it's still, I don't know. We'll see if it smears this time. Actually, that one's not too bad. I'm going to get a different stamp, one that's a little cleaner, so we can just try something without all the ink on it. They're the same size stamps because they all came from the same set. This one I'm going to ink in red. I'm going to put this one down, actually, right there. Let's ink this one. Okay. Now carefully put that down. I could be shifting it when I'm putting it down. So this again is our C and A mats. And this time we are set at 11. It's not shifting at all this time. Real light over the stamp. Let's see how that one turned out. Well, that one really smeared, really bad. So we're going to take this one clear up to 12. That's our highest setting. And we're going to try one more time. That's actually very smooth rolling, one-handed. Let's see how that one turned out. That one's still smeared, so I think the clear acrylic ones, it could be the ink I'm using too. I'm not giving up though. We're going to try one more. I'm going to try a different ink with this one. I don't easily give up. Let's ink that one up. Maybe I'm using too much ink, because maybe when the rollers go over, if you just have a light ink, it might do very well. So we're just going to do the flip side of this one. Put that down, the C plate and the A plate. And let's see how this one works. We're still at 12. That one looks great. That's at 12. So what I would suggest, just lightly ink your stamp. Because when I lightly did it, it came out really, I would be happy with that one. I have some ink marks, but that's from my ink on my fingers. So for your clear acrylic stamps like this, I would do a 12. And that's how it came out. So the last stamp we're going to try is a woodblock stamp. And for that, we take the base out. Pardon my elbow there. We'll take the base out. And let's see how this fits in there. That's pretty good. I'm going to do it and roll the plate over one time just to see how it rolls. I'm going to leave it at 12 for now. Just to see how, and that is pushing it. Okay. And 12 is the highest we can go. Let's bring it up in the middle, and I'm just going to put my C plate on and leave, or C, and leave the A off and see if it will roll with that. Now that works. It will roll over with the A, just using the C mat. So let's ink this stamp up. And once again, I'm going to go light on the ink. That looks pretty good. And let's put a card on top of there. And I'm just going to use the C mat. And let's see what happens. I kind of over inked it, but I think it would work with a little bit of trial and error. Let's try one other wood block, because I have some that are a little lower, a little less thick. We'll try this one. And I'm going to just put the two pads on first and see if it will roll across it. And it won't, so we're just going to stick with the C plate. Let me lightly ink this one. I tend to be heavy-handed with the ink, I think. We're just going to do it that much. Grab another card. Put it on. And let's roll it over and see what happens. And I'm kind of holding it because I really don't want it to shift. That one, the rolling's a little easier than the other. Let's see how that turned out. Once again, I got too much ink in spots I shouldn't, but actually, at a 12, I think if you went light on the ink, make sure your ink pad was, or stamp was clean before you started, it would turn out. So overall, I think with a little practice, you could do both wood blocks and the others. Again, the wood blocks would be, I'd start at 12 with that. So I hope this helps you out. Just practice with it. That's what I plan on doing. This was my first try with it. And actually, I'm pretty pleased with it. It takes a little trial and error, but I think it'll work. So you guys keep on crafting, keep on experimenting, and together we'll learn this machine. Have a great night, everybody.